Hey guys, Jay, welcome back to the channel. So guys, it's come down to the wire. This is the last day to get in on the bonus Lady Slither for the Master Universe Origins Snake Lair playset. And I want to take a deep dive into this and take a look at exactly what this means, how much time we have left, and what's going to happen if we actually do reach the deadline and we still haven't backed the Snake Lair as of yet. So let's take a deep dive into this and see exactly what's going on at MattelCreations.com. Let's have a look, everybody. So, according to the Mattel Creations site, we have actually come quite a long ways, everybody. That's right. We are now at 74% funded, 4,455 backers of a target 6,000 backer goal. Now, this is very interesting considering the fact that there have been many people who were saying that this was never even going to reach 50%, let alone 74%. And now we are only 14 days away before the end of the campaign and only 1 day away from the Snake Lair bonus of Lady Slither. We are in a very interesting time for crowdfunding. As we already know, the Snowcat is on its way as well to its final day for funding, and Lady J has finally been backed. The very last day is going to be an interesting countdown, as Flint himself is also going to be pretty much a photo finish in terms of whether or not we're going to reach that final tier. But let's concentrate first on the Snake Lair playset. Now, this, of course, has come with its own set of controversies. Obviously, the first time the Snake Lair was proposed as a playset last year in 2024, many people were met with mixed emotions in terms of the overall look of the Snake Lair. It wasn't what they had originally planned or what was actually proposed for the Snake Lair. Fast forward to a year later, and they've completely redesigned the Snake Lair, really bringing it back to the original design that was originally proposed on many of the, teased actually, on many of the packaging art for Master Universe Origins. This one is closer to what Axel Jimenez actually put together for the design for the Snake Lair, and I think a lot more people are much more intrigued and really looking forward to this version of the Snake Lair. I do have to say that the original version of the Snake Lair was pretty interesting. I didn't mind it overall, but I do have to say that I'm much more pleased and happy with this version of the Snake Lair overall, and I'm happy that this is finally getting the attention that it deserves. Having said that, we are on the last day for Lady Slither as part of the Snake Lair bonus feature. As we do know, scrolling down from the top, Lady Slither will be given as an early backer bonus gift to anyone who backs this before the end of today, August 14th, 2025, to receive Skeletal Lady Slither. As the playset is by itself an expensive piece of Master Universe history, at $300 just for the playset itself, a lot of people have been, I guess, second guessing themselves. But if we do reach the bonus tier, we will at least get the Chimera, which is the steed of Lady Slither. That is something which is given to everyone once the whole playset is backed completely at 6,000 backers. And explaining exactly how this works for Lady Slither is a little bit daunting, as today will be the last day you can back the Snake Lair playset in order to receive Skeletal Lady Slither, who originally was supposed to be an actual stretch goal. But as far as it is now, she is a bonus figure to be given as a gift to everybody who backs it by the end of today. Lady Skeletal Slither, of course, is the new edition of Lady Slither with brand new sculpting and brand new details, particularly for her bony tail and her headdress. The body of Lady Slither is also unique in so much that it has this skeletal feature, giving it more of a bony ridges. And the history behind this is very interesting. She seems to be more mummified than anything else. And we did learn from Damien and the live stream that was done about a week ago now that this is going to really dig in deep to the history of the Snake Lair people and why Lady Slither actually ended up in this form to begin with. As a matter of fact, Lord Pythonus, who is also another figure being backed in this particular crowdfund project, is going to be responsible for bringing back Lady Slither from her decayed form and possibly even bringing her back in time into the future of the Master Universe. And this is going to be interesting to finally learn more about Lord Pythonus and the history of the Snake Man in the new comic book, which will be included with the Snake Lair proper. So it's going to be very interesting seeing how this all comes together. There are going to be a lot of questions about the overall idea of what this means for this gift, as a lot of people are wondering exactly what's going to be happening for the 6,000 backer bonus of Lady Slither. Whether or not we're even going to receive Lady Slither if we don't hit the 6,000 minimum goal before midnight tonight. And that's going to be an interesting read. So I thought it would be very important to find out exactly what it says here on the FAQ for the Snake Lair. Getting to the FAQ itself, there are a couple of sections. The one that's very specific is the paragraphs which actually deal with when the funding is complete and when the bonuses are complete. So let's just read up on how does this campaign work. We reached our goal of 6,000 pre-orders before the campaign ends on August 28th, 2025. At 11:59 p.m., the Snake Lair playset will go into production and will be shipped to backers on November 2026, and this is an estimated goal. If the goal isn't met by the end date, the project will be canceled and all monies will be refunded. That has already been set in stone. The real question that a lot of people have at this point is, when will I be charged? And this is where things get a little bit messy. The wording is rather specific and it leaves room for a lot of interpretation. For example, rather specific, it literally says you won't be charged unless the campaign reaches the minimum goal of 6,000 backers by August 28th, 2025 at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. The reason people are having such difficulty with this is because it says you won't be charged unless the campaign reaches the minimum goal of 6,000, where it's not too specific on when you will be charged. That is really open for interpretation because a lot of people are asking, am I charged as soon as it hits 6,000, which could be tomorrow? Or will I be charged on August 28th, 2025 at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time? If we're to take this at its face value, it should be at August 28th, 2025 at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. That should be the time and the date when you are charged. The real, I guess, confusing nature is the fact that it says you won't be charged unless the campaign reaches its minimum goal of 6,000 backers by August 28th, 2025. Not saying exactly when the charge will be made. Interpreting wise, I tend to believe that they will charge you on August 28th, 2025 at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time. This is my interpretation of the wording. I am interpreting this as people will be charged on August 28th, 2025 at 11 p.m. Pacific time. Here is something which is more specific, and I think we really have to dig deep into this. Do you offer financing options? And it says yes. At various points, and this is where things get really interesting. At various points of the campaign, you can split your purchase into installment payments with no additional hidden or late fees. Reading down further, it says U.S. customers can use ShopPay installments once the campaign reaches its minimum goal of 6,000 backers. Let me read that again. U.S. customers can choose ShopPay installments once the campaign reaches the minimum goal of 6,000 backers. So what does that actually mean? That means that ShopPay installments will not be open until it reaches its minimum goal of 6,000 backers. So right now, as it stands, looking at the number of backers, it's not yet open for the installment payments on ShopPay. Once this target goal hits 6,000, that is when the ShopPay will open and people can actually start using the plans on ShopPay. So up until that point, you will be paying the full $300 upfront, charged onto your credit card once it hits the final day of funding. This is a little bit of a sneaky way of doing this, and I still don't understand why this is the way they've decided to go about this. It actually is the exact same way it was done with Eternia, where they had the same sort of system. And to be perfectly honest with you, I'm not appreciating this at all. I have no idea why they've decided to do this. Other programs really don't do this type of idea where it has to be fully funded before you could actually do any sort of payment plans. I mean, all things being equal, people want to be able to save money on this, and splitting this up into various payment plans once a month, once every 3 months, or maybe even as full 12 months is a way easier time to break up payments, as it helps you with your bills and your payments for other things that are coming across the line. And having this now only open when the campaign is fully funded, it seems a little disingenuous to me. However, this is the way it is, and that is actually the way they decided to break up this particular portion of the payment plan. The rest of the FAQ is pretty much straightforward. It does ask if you do accept refunds or cancellations. And they do say that you may cancel your pre-order during the campaign period by calling customer service through Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. You should note the phone number, as a lot of people are wondering what that is. It's available right here. They do note that holiday hours may vary. The campaign period ends on August 28th, 2025, 11:59 p.m. Pacific time, and there will be no refunds or exchanges after that date. So keep that in mind, everybody. They do talk about where they ship, and they have a full listing of the actual charges for every one and every area they actually do ship to. And it has a total at checkout already pre-set for anybody who's interested in finding out how much this is going to cost. This is a good indication of what you're going to be charged if you live outside of the United States. And I would suggest everybody take a look at this chart, as it is very important. Now, in closing, I do wish to say that Lady Slither is definitely a piece of Master Universe history, and it's, in my opinion, very important to get her. However, I will also say that this campaign itself is typical in terms of the way they've been running it for Master Universe crowdfund projects. It seems to be the exact same way they did it with the Eternia playset as well. Lady Slither here, of course, is the second Lady Slither to be issued, and alongside figures like King Grayskull will definitely be one of the most sought after figures, as she will be a very, very small run of figures in the overall scheme of things. I myself am probably not going to be able to pick up Lady Slither at this time. I just don't have the means or the funds to actually get this. And unfortunately, because there are no payment plans, I actually have to move money around in order to actually get this playset. And that means that I probably won't be able to get this until the end of the campaign on August 28th. 2025, which is unfortunate, as I really would have liked to be able to get Lady Slither into my collection. But unfortunately, there are realities that we all have to deal with in our daily lives, and that seems to be the case in this situation. It should also be noted that on the live stream that was actually put for the Snake Lair specifically, they did mention for a question that was actually posed to the presenters, that people were a little upset at how Eternia was packaged and delivered to them. And they are assuring fans this time around that the packaging itself that is going to be included and utilized to pack the Snake Lair will be extremely sturdy, extremely well packed. That the new packaging design, the illustrations, and everything will arrive intact as much as possible. This is a huge move, and I do mean this. This is an incredible move on the part of Mattel, as a lot of people were very upset that their Eternia playsets were received in such poor condition. Some people got them literally gouged, and in some cases, absolutely wrecked. And unfortunately, because of the limited amount of these playsets, many people just were offered refunds, and in some cases, just asked if they could, accept it as it was. And unfortunately, that does not sit well with many of the fans. Of course, if you are someone who's looking to resell these, you do wish to have them in the best condition possible once they arrive at your door. And this is just the luck of the draw, unfortunately, with these types of things, as these crowdfund projects really are very rare in their overall scheme. And unfortunately, sometimes what you pay for is what you get. And unfortunately, because of their rarity, you might not be able to get a replacement. This is just something to consider. Guys, let me know in the comment section below, what are your thoughts about the Snake Lair and this being the very last day for Lady Slither as the bonus figure, ending tonight at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time? Are you going to be rushing to get your Lady Slither just before the deadline tonight at 11:59 p.m. Pacific time? Or do you already have a Lady Slither and you can pretty much pass this one by, as you're not really too much into the new history of the Snake Man, especially with this skeletal Lady Slither being the way she is? Let me know those comments in the comment section below, guys. 20s continues in 2025, everybody. As a matter of fact, we are going to be counting down the Lady Slither final hours to be able to back this and get your bonus Lady Slither, and possibly even counting down the Snowcat's final hours as well. Join us tonight at the live stream. You can check out that link here when it posts. I'll see you guys there. Hope you're all doing well, staying safe. And as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. Snake Lair continues to make waves, and it really is interesting how they're making this the final push for the Snake Lair and Lady Slither. Good journey, everybody. Be proud.